Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We are playing in the hardcore Breach League. And today we are going to run our very first yellow map. And it's gonna be the tier 6 Spider Forest. It's a rare. I ran it before as a blue. Wasn't too much of a challenge, but I think this map is going to prove interesting. We have increased monster variety and many totems. So there's gonna be a lot of different things and they're gonna get buffed up the wazoo. Mixed in with some more than usual groups of immortal enemies, and it's gonna be an interesting setup. They have a 30% increased area of effect. So the totems will of course gain a very nice benefit from that. As well as anything else that of course does AoE attacks. Monsters have 30% physical damage reduction, so that means that our zombies punching monsters in the face are gonna be 30% less effective. So we have to lean more heavily on caustic clouds than we normally do. Players have 40% less recovery of life and energy shields. And that is interesting, because it means that when we take damage, it takes us a bit longer to recover from it. We also have less armor, which we don't really care about, and we have a 30% reduced block chance. It happened, it matters a little bit, but it's not that insane. But it's an interesting combination of mods. Enemies that are tougher, and we are less sturdy. So let's see what we are going to make of this. Open up, please. Yes, yes. So, I'm running the Spider Forest because it's going to unlock our very first Shaper Orb. It's the only tier 6 that I can see that actually has a Shaper Orb attached to it, so it was an obvious target to run first. It also means that we might run into a Shaper corrupted version of the boss encounter. So that would make this double interesting. The last couple of maps I've been running now as warm-up, and also the previously recorded episodes have all been beyond maps in some sort. So I'm completely in demon hunting mode, and this for a change is not a beyond map. Could have made it beyond, but I figured no, for our very first rare yellow map, maybe let's not. I think there's going to be interesting enough challenges here, and it's a good way to see if we can actually handle a map like this with relative ease, or if this is going to be a very large challenge. It's a good baseline test for it. Of course, you can make the maps even more intense, even more crazy. Now get multiple auras, things like that. Though, I have to say, the previous map I ran actually had a vulnerability on it. And for this build, it does not matter all that much, because most of the time you yourself are not fighting the enemy. Your minions are, and your minions don't get affected by player curses. Or by curses that affect the player according to the map rules. So that's rather nice. And we see a Katarina here. Who wants us to do what with the corpses? Bring them to the sculpture. Which sculpture? Somewhere in the south. So the Spider Forest, in my very limited experience so far, it does have a bit of a directionality to it, though, like you would expect from any sort of a ledge-like map, but it does have a bit of branching in the middle segment of the map. So my previous strategy was to just stick to one side of the map and just run through. That means that you are more or less guaranteed to have to backtrack for doing the other half of the map. So I think in this case, once we get back to where these two join up, we're just gonna cross through and focus on clearing the map in its entirety in a single go through. So just ignore the shockwave totem that was down there. Instead, focus on all these spiders over here. So, thought experiment. What if, now all these giant spiders here, what if giant spiders actually existed? No, just human-sized giant spiders, and if they were that large, they actually were sentient, so they would actually think and have personalities and have opinions. What if you could convince spiders that they needed shoes? I think as a shoemaker you would make a killing. Those things have 8 legs. Okay, random thoughts. I think it's also a sign that I probably should stop playing after this, but been playing for a bit, just warming up for this tier 6 run. So I definitely wanted to do it. And I have to say, for it being this late, I'm still pretty darn awake. Which is good. Okay, so we get more branching here. Again, just take a small step away from all the things that are trying to murder me. Also, most of the enemies are not really succeeding in taking a good stab at our minions, and therefore no zombies are truly dying, which is nice. Okay. So this is not an edge, this seems to be a way forward to the west, or to the left, or however you want to call it. Yeah, a bunch of devourers there. Let's just take a wise step backwards and let the minions handle this. And also we're overflowing with goods, so let's empty our pockets. Blessed Orb, don't really find a lot of those, so that is nice for just tuning some of your equipment. Okay, that branched off. Let's have a look if that was just actually part of the edge here. Yeah, okay. Let's assemble our mobs and do a proper cleaning, because we're drawing in a lot of attention currently. As I say, as long as the attention is towards our minions and not towards us, it's okay. If they're trying to murder me, I'm less of a fan. But in this case, it's all good. I really do keep enjoying the fact that you can, to a very large degree, focus on just picking up the loot and staying out of the fights while your minions do all of the hard work. Especially once the battlefield has mostly been covered with caustic clouds. You know, and fill your pockets. Ah, cool. So, interesting. We actually encountered the arena halfway through without it being obviously backtrackable. It's one of those places where the arena basically seems to have a random spawning place. So, this is going to be the Witch from Act 2 in a more powerful form, the Enticer of Rods. Also, I don't think I like it with all those devourers. So, I'm just going to take a small step sideways. Keep sipping my quartz flask, just increase my chance to dodge. Also, we have an avatar of Rods over there, which is going bye-bye. Ooh, and we found a replacement spider forest. And the Shaper's Orb for killing this map as a yellow one. Nice. Cool. So we can use this to upgrade it tier 1 by 5 tiers into a tier 6. So that is nice. I don't think in previous seasons I found one of these. At least not a tier 1 to 6. I think I found a 2 to 7, but not this one. But you can't actually stash this. If it really bugs you and you don't want to use it, then there are some options, as in putting it in a crafting bench temporarily. That is possible. But on the other hand, tier 1 maps. Which one is my most favorite or least favorite? I think we did Jungle Valley quite a number of times. With the spiders in the end, it is rather fun to do. Nice and linear. Was it possible to just do it from here? Yeah. Jungle Valley has been shipped.
Ambition is followed by madness.
Ambition is followed by madness. He's quite a cheerful, optimistic fellow, isn't he? Yeah. This shaper. And we're nearly full on loot again. And we're just gonna continue. Hey, look at you. Still have 3 corrupted minions with us, or only 2? I only count 2 target things on the map here. Okay. Let's go back to the spider forest. Do we leave one of those things behind? This might get awkward by the time we get to the totem. And we're missing one of the 3 minions. We'll see. We might just encounter it when we get back there. Also, let's not stand in the middle of the spiders. They do want me dead. And I'm rather full of loot again. So, pretty well. No, all the portals on the hardcore are meant for loot gathering. That's the rules. That's how it works. Because you don't get any second chances when you die. Which is a completely different mentality from running on standard. Where you actually have all the portals for killing the boss in the more extreme cases. Okay, once we deal with all of these spiders, and look at these spiders, I so should have done beyond for this. Ah, hindsight. Ooh, and these are level 75. Kill a corrupted monster. Yeah, see, we still need more. So we probably have to just run back to Katarina, pick up another monster, and hand it in. Or we just need to find what was lost. Yes, you. Can you come along? That works. That works even better. If you go too fast, they might end up getting lost. But no more. Cool. And Katarina is happy. Art progresses. And let's just continue for, well, map completion bonus points, of course. Virtual bonus points, because there's no real bonus points for it. And of course, for more loot, like this lovely little spider forest map thing over here. As we're low on portals, I'm just gonna bail on picking up these large items. No, pick up a couple more helmets or things like that. And of course, more maps and currency. Ah, the virus. They pop up in the middle of cluster clouds and they just instantly die. Or too close to zombies and they die. Or as long as they are not volatile and insta die next to me, then I'm perfectly fine with it. Guys like that, maybe not as successful. Exploding corpses, that's the detonate. Corpses of totem, okay. And 35 mobs remain. So we truly were in the final room. A couple more packs. And then it's clear. $22. Some spiders, some zombies, and some totems. There's no colds. Okay, that's gone. Elemental resist, not truly relevant, but might as well take them out. As I say, once there's caustic cloud, there's no real bonus in adding more caustic clouds to the mix. And there's one sneaky little spider over there. That got away, almost. Now I'm turning it into a leather belt. Excellent. Spider leather belt. Okay. There you have it. Our very first yellow map cleared. So we can now progress further on the map with more tier 6s. So just to have a quick look at the state of our mapping pool. I managed to I rearrange things a little bit. So tier 1 maps, there's only 4 different tier 1 maps. There's also 4 different tier 2 maps. For tier 3 and tier 4 and tier 5, there's 7 different ones of each. At least of the tier 3 and tier 4, there's 7 different ones. And the rows are 12 high. So if you do the tier 1s and the tier 3s, now you can leave a nice gap in between. Same for the tier 2 and the tier 4. You can leave a nice gap in between and have all of them. And then leave the tier 5 on the side. No, we don't really have a lot of them anymore. But on the tier 6 side, things are looking up pretty well. So this is where the spider forests used to go. I used up 2, 1 for the blue for the practice run, 1 for the yellow for this run. We have 2 race courses, we have 3 strands. So we at least have a couple more maps that we can run. And with a bit of luck, I'll try to fill in some of the tier 5s that we haven't done yet. Hopefully we'll get the associated tier 6 map drops from those as well to pad our mapping pool a little bit. But for now, our yellow mapping pool is a bit on the small end. All the rare runs are definitely gonna run them with 20% quality and see if we can just get a nice amount of juicy map drops. Here, of course, we have a spider forest to replenish it, and I think we got a couple more, right? Yeah, we found another one here. So now a single spider forest went in, 2 came out, and another acid lakes, which is gonna go there. We got 5 of them, so I think I'll just turn those into actual tier 5 maps, and then we can upgrade it. But that's basically the strategy I'm using so far. I keep up to 4 copies of the same map. If I get 5, then I turn 3 of them into a higher tier, and I still have 2 remaining. So that way, I keep copies of all the maps. I can play whatever map I feel like at the moment. And I slowly get to upgrade things as I go. But for now, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.